The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Sean.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning. Happy Thursday, June 22nd. It's 5:29 right now. We're a little overachievers this morning, Steph.
You had to turn our mics on early because we're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
That's right. So much daylight out there. Did yesterday fulfill your summer solstice-ness?
Yes, it did. I am so thankful that the clouds cleared and the sun came out and you could just actually see some blue sky for once. Like, I feel like it's been a while since we've had a blue sky out there.
Yeah, you had a big day planned, a lot of things. Did you get to check off some things?
Yes, it was my friend Genevieve's birthday as well. So we went over to their house, we shared dinner together, played some lawn games, and we specifically stayed until it was sufficiently dark out. I did get home around midnight and I was kind of like, I can still see everything in my room. Should I read a little while till I can't see anymore? But then I remembered that my alarm was going to go off in 4 hours. And
Bunch of summer solstice nerds over there staying up to the wee little bit of daylight.
It only happens once a year, Sean. What did you do? How'd you celebrate?
I was in bed by 8:30, like a responsible adult that had to go to work the next day.
8:30 is not a responsible adult. That is a nerd. That is just, I don't know. I don't want to call you...
Come up with your own, insult. I called you a nerd. You have to come up with something else.
Okay, loner.
No.
That one's not okay.
Nerd over
That's
there.
too mean.
Yeah.
Cheaper. I can't think of anything else. Sleep lover.
There we go. I'll take that one.
Sleep the day away. Bed.
You're
hog.
bad at this. Just stop.
A friend of mine told me that her kids said to her the other day, "No, Mom, can't let the dogs get any air." What do you think they meant?
It's like feet.
Yes.
Yeah, let the dogs out.
Letting the dogs out?
Yeah, when you kick off your shoes or take your socks off or something, let the dogs breathe.
Wow. Okay. Well, she was saying that she bought them these really expensive flip-flops.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, look at these new shoes I just got you to her teenage sons.
Yeah.
And they said, it's not popular right now to ever show your toes. They always have to wear socks. And so they refused to wear them and insisted on their Crocs and socks.
Okay. Very interesting. Times have changed.
Yeah, can't let the dogs get any air. I can't put my toes out in the summer when it's nice and hot.
Yeah, I've never heard it used in that phrase, but I know dogs is like your feet type of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, let the dogs breathe.
Where do you think the dogs came from?
I don't know the reference, but I just know that's related to feet.
I am impressed, Sean. I was just
I'm with it.
shocked.
Okay, I'm cool.
You got the riz.
Yeah, I'm the cool part of the morning show.
Okay, don't toot your own horn too much. It's a little bit uncool to do that.
What is it about airports and airplanes that make it a such different world than just, say, everyday society like right now in the studio here?
I think it's because everybody is from around the world in the airport.
And they just come up with their own rules, and they're just like, you know what, we're never going to see each other again. We're flying away to maybe different spots or whatever, so never see you again.
Do you feel like people are ruder in airports, or what are you getting at this airport etiquette that they're making up their own rules?
A little, yeah, pretty much that. I feel like almost like families with kids can bully people that are by themselves. For instance, I was sitting alone in an empty terminal by a plug-in, and this family of four just came along. There was 2 seats available. They had 2 young children, and they just sat in those 2 seats, and then the young kids were just standing around me wanting to interact, and I was like, I'm sitting alone in this terminal for a reason.
Did you have headphones in? Was there any signs that said, I don't want to talk to you?
My carry-on was in front of me, my feet were on it, my headphones were in, and I was looking down at my phone. And then the kid puts his hand on my knee, and the mom's on the phone talking, and it was just what's happening here? There are patches of 4 seats collectively together. There's 2 seats right here.
Yeah.
What are you doing? They wanted my plug-in.
Well, that's the thing is that was a move. That happened to my husband once on a plane. We were heading to Florida. And so it was a 5-hour flight, and he was in the middle, and the person had bought the aisle and the window.
Wow.
And then they had twins that they did not pay for seats for because they were that young. and then they were passing the babies over top of my husband.
No.
And he said, oh, let's switch spots. And they said, no, we purposely bought the seats like this. And so then the flight attendant looked at my husband in sympathy and said, I'll see what I can do, and moved him. So they got the 3 seats. They did it on purpose.
It is such a weird world. So many weird stories come from just airports and airplanes. And it's just stuff that you would never see. Like, oh, I was going through the mall and I was sitting on a bench there. And no one would ever sit beside you in the mall on a bench.
Totally. It's like the urinal rule. Like you would never go and stand beside somebody and pee beside them. So why are you taking up my air over here?
A little suspect, you know that one, but we'll let it pass. So
Come on, everybody knows that
are you
rule.
sneaking into the men's washroom over there?
No.
You're peeing in the urinals.
That's enough out of you. I'm always very flattered, and I always say yes when somebody asks if I can be a reference for them.
Oh,
I'm like, oh, thank you. You thought that we
you
had
trusted me.
Yeah, good enough working relationship that you know that I would say nice things about you.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened the other day. Someone said, can you be a reference for me? I said, absolutely. And then I got an email from some staffing website that said, like, can you fill out this survey about this person? It's like, sure. Yeah, no problem. This survey was like a personality test for the person, but I was answering the questions.
What do you mean? I don't get it.
Okay.
Was it just like multiple choice, 1 through 5, like
No.
agree, disagree, like
Full-on questions with paragraph answers allowed.
Oh.
And it was like, how would you say this person handles conflict?
oh geez. Wow.
How would you say they are working with others? What are their strengths? And then,
Do you get part of her salary if they get the job? Like
well, after 5 of these giant questions where I felt like I was just typing the same thing, it felt like grant writing.
yeah.
I pressed next, and I thought I was going to be done, but it said completed 20%.
Ew. No,
Yeah.
I'd be like, I can't be your reference anymore.
Weirdly, it also said, what company would this person be good at working
What?
for? Yeah. And what roles do you think this person would excel at? And I was like, I know the role that they have applied for. Why do you want to know what else they'd excel at? Like,
My answers would get so short form as like the thing went on. Like my first couple ones would be like really in depth, like, oh, I'm trying to help this person. By the time like 20% done and you just put like an hour in of like work, I'd be like, jobs. I just would have been so generic at the end, like, you're annoying now.
well, the scary thing was at the end, they said, can we share your answers with the candidate? And I was like, can you? Please do. I just did a ton of work for them.
That's right. Share some of the bennies, some of the salary. I put in work here.
Let's share this all. It's a co-op job now.
We had more fun adventures yesterday going out into the school community to read to some children. Steph?
Yeah, we got to do 3 different classrooms, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, so big shout out, Madame Ariana. She was fantastic. ECDP right there. Mm-hmm. And we also had Madame Lise, kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And we had Miss Bianca, kindergarten class as well. We went to 3 of them, and the kids were hilarious.
Yeah, it was so fun. One of the teachers asked the kids to if they had any questions for us, and every kid put up their hand to tell us about the kind of stages of life of a caterpillar moving into a butterfly. Another kid waved her hand really big. She was ready with something different to say. And it was that she held a spider once.
Yeah. The one teacher, I forget who, was like, all right, we're going to ask questions and not stories. But love it all. Just love to hear all the answers. I had 2 observations from yesterday.
Okay.
Observation number 1, you're very good at holding a book and showing it to the children and then turning the pages while still facing the children. I have to bring the book back and then turn the page and then show it forward again. I'm not at your level.
I did notice that you had to do that, and I felt like after we got through the 3rd classroom and you still were having a hard time with that, I thought, why aren't you learning from my example?
Because maybe it's something to do with you being left-handed or something.
Oh, perhaps.
It's close to you, so you can change it easily. But every time I would go over while facing it, I would grab too many pages.
Yeah.
And so I just had to bring it close.
The thing was, too, though, just like me being left-handed, you did switch sides of the book. Sometimes you were holding it with a different hand, and you...
I was trying different
still
techniques. I
had
couldn't figure it out.
Okay, what's observation number 2?
Yeah, observation number 2. When I went alone, every kid wanted my autograph. When I went with you, no one wanted our autograph.
They didn't care about us. Wow, Sean.
That's the other observation I had.
Oh, maybe they just had nothing left to say to you, and they're like, well, I guess I'll ask this guy for his autograph.
Maybe you're stinky. Maybe you got the stinky socks on. You read the stinky book, and you got the stinky socks on. And
well,
no one
you got
wanted
your
our
underwear
autograph.
on because you read the book about underwear.
I recently made a move. I no longer walk to work. It's very unfortunate, but I had to move because my old landlord was retiring and moving away.
A sad day. Had to drive to work like the rest of us.
Yeah, command start, heated seats, so it's not all bad.
Speaking luxury here.
That's right. But now I have to change my address, and I'm trying to make a list. I'm trying to rack my brain of like, where do I all need to change my address to? And Banks is the only one I can think of right now.
Which is crazy because, unfortunately, Sean, you do move a lot. Like, I feel like since I've known you, this is your 3rd move, and we've only been friends for 2 years.
True. Yeah, it's my 3rd place here.
Yeah, Banks for sure. But then also, your license,
Oh,
tell the registry.
I almost did a swear word. Yeah, that's right. I have to do that one.
Health card? Do they care about that?
Oh, I need to write these down.
You should also open up your passport because while your address isn't in there, on the 2nd page after your picture, you're supposed to write your address in there in case
for
you
real?
lose it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very important.
Yeah, I've done that all the time, actually.
Every once in a while, a border guard will be like, hey, you haven't written your address in here.
Okay, yeah, so government things, banks, registry.
CRA, taxes. I mean, that
Oh, my
might be the
goodness.
government thing.
I thought
but
this was going to be an easy list.
Sorry, I'm just coming up with everything.
I had one on the top of my head.
If a phone company, do you need to tell them?
Oh, probably.
Do your phone bill come to your
Thankfully,
house?
I've switched a lot of things to online, so like bills don't directly come to me. So thankfully, like I won't have like any outstanding bills. But yeah, okay, phone maybe. Delivery things.
Yes.
Things that get delivered like Amazon or whatever.
Or skip the dishes. It would suck if they went to the new owner's house instead of you. Here's
be
my favorite
heartbreaking.
Cedars pizza. Oh, sorry, did I give your secret away?
Yeah. Just move past that. Let's hope no one heard that.
Oh
I'm trying to gatekeep that place for myself. But yeah, okay, if you have done a recent move and you change your address on a couple of things, let me know. I'm making a list over here. I just don't want to miss out on any good deals or anything.
Chatting a little bit about airport etiquette this morning. When you sit down on the plane, stranger next to you, Sean, you talk to them?
Oh, not a chance.
No?
Not an absolute chance. I would describe myself, what one is it? It's the, I am the extroverted introvert.
Oh.
The one where if I don't have to, I'll just be by myself and I'll keep my thoughts and I won't talk to anyone. But I like the extrovert part is doing radio and doing all the events and everything. I'm perfectly comfortable doing all that. But you put me in a situation like an airport, nah, be by myself.
I don't need to talk to anybody. I don't know anybody in this room, so nobody's getting any words.
You're talking ears off, aren't you?
No, I'm not talking ears off. I say hello when I sit down, kind of like look friendly, like, if you need to go to the washroom, it's okay to ask me. I'm happy to get up. And then as well, I will engage in conversation if they look like they need it as the plane is landing. Because I feel like...
You hold up a sign, wait till the plane's landing.
Then you know that there is a time limit for the conversation. So we can make small talk for a little while and then we're going to get off and go our separate ways.
Okay.
Because I used to live in Australia, so 15-hour flights. You start being too friendly at the beginning of the flight, and somehow you're in a deep and meaningful 15-hour conversation with somebody you've never met before. Could be your best friend, could be your worst enemy. You don't know who they sat you beside.
Okay, so you're halfsies on it then.
Yeah,
Halfsies.
yeah.
Okay,
I'm cautious.
Yeah, respect.
Ikea Canada has come out with a new mascot. I just sent you the link over there. What do you think of him?
It's hilarious. I love the first comment that I've seen on this mascot is don't name it, just get rid of it.
Okay, I don't think it's like people are saying he's creepy. He's basically like an actual smiley face,
Yeah.
like a just drawn black dots and
It's like a Play-Doh figure with a smiley face on it.
yes, good way to put it. And then this like kind of bowl cut on his head that exactly looks like a Play-Doh
Yeah.
piece. And he's just walking around in blue overalls with a yellow shirt underneath that say IKEA on.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about it?
Like,
It's kind of funny.
yeah, I just didn't know IKEA needed a mascot. But I mean, It's fine. I don't think it's scary. I think I've certainly seen worse mascots.
Would they have 4 options available for the name?
Yes,
here?
they're looking for some help here, and they say that the most voted on name will win by Friday. Now, before I knew they had a mascot naming contest, I was like, I hope this guy's name is Billy.
Billy?
The Billy bookshelf is like the iconic Ikea piece of furniture that just gets sold on Marketplace all the time. And it's like, that's a Billy.
So iconic, it gets resold all the time.
Yeah, everybody has one or has owned one. And when you drive around in Toronto and people put stuff for free out on their driveways, Billy bookshelf is a very normal item to find.
Interesting. I like what are the other ones? Hex Blue and then Van.
But I guess it has like an accent on top of the A, so maybe it's like Von.
Yeah, and it is Swedish, so yeah. I like that one. Stay true to the IKEA, the blue and yellow and the heritage.
Von is what you like? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my vote is for Billy, but is your vote to get rid of this mascot? Like, do you think it's creepy as well?
No, I think keep it. Or maybe Meatball, Swedish Meatball.
That is another iconic IKEA thing. Like, I'm not really sure where they chose this face and bowl cut from. Like, I would have thought Meatball for sure, or a twist cone,
Oh,
at the
yeah.
end.
Yeah. Swedish Fish?
No,
I'm just naming
they don't
things.
sell those.
I'm just naming things now.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.